What's going on, everyone? My name is Phil Gibson and I'd like to welcome everyone back to the channel. Today I answer the question, does gear matter? Let's get into it. Look, I understand that this topic has been beat into the ground. I know that you can get on YouTube any given day and you can search does gear matter and you will find a video that's been posted very recently on the topic. So why do I want to post a video about this topic? Well, it's because I don't think that the answer is as simple as yes or no. In order to understand the question, does gear matter, you have to answer another question. Why are you asking this question? I believe that people ask this question for two reasons. And those two reasons are, they either want to be a content creator on YouTube, or they're looking to get into filmmaking and photography. And depending on which one of those questions you are asking, I do believe that your answer to does gear matter is different. See, if you are asking this question because you want to create content for YouTube and you want to connect with the community, I firmly believe that the camera that you should start with is your cell phone. It is crazy what phones can do these days. Everybody has one, and they say that the best camera that you can use is the one that you have with you. And that is something that I truly believe in. So yeah, if your primary reason for asking the question, does gear matter, is because you want to be a content creator, just start with your phone. Start with your phone. Do your research, educate yourself, and save your money and decide what gear is right for you. If you're literally just trying to get into this for content creating, I don't think that you need some crazy elaborate camera setup. What I would suggest to you after doing your research, educating yourself, and saving your money would be to invest in a decent camera that can shoot in 1080p or 4K. I would also get an external microphone because the onboard mic for any camera normally is trash. Absolute trash. And then the last thing that I would really invest in is studio lights. And that's just so that way you can control your lights and your scene a little bit better and help shape the way you want your scene to look. But see, all that stuff can be got over time. You don't have to rush into anything. Just get used to shooting with your phone, get used to posting videos on this platform, and get a little bit of a schedule for yourself. So that way you can truly figure out if it's something that you even want to do to begin with. I think that it's more important to get into the flow of posting videos and creating that content to even figure out if it's something that you honestly want to do. Because I'm not going to lie, this is a grind. It is a job. Doing these videos takes hours and hours of time. And that's something that I feel like everybody just needs to understand and needs to figure out if that's something they want to do before they buy the equipment. Because nobody wants to waste money. Now, let's talk about this from a business standpoint as a filmmaker or a photographer. If you're asking the question, does gear matter, and you are trying to get into filmmaking or photography, it absolutely does. If you're just starting out as a freelancer and your client base is your friends and family and you're not charging a whole lot of money, if you're charging money at all, then starting off with entry-level gear is going to be fine because they're not going to judge you as much as like a corporate-based client. Now, if you're trying to get into filmmaking and photography for professional and corporate level clients, then the gear that you have does matter. You need a high-end camera. You need high-end microphones. You need high-end lights. Like, you need all the stuff that shows that you know your job. But just like content creating on YouTube, you have to start somewhere. You can't just jump into this and expect to be the best that you can possibly be. It comes down to more than just gear. You can have the most high-end camera in the world, and if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to matter. If you don't know how to use lighting, it's not going to matter. If you don't know how to use mics, boom a mic, it's not going to matter. So, just like content creating, when you're trying to do this on a professional level as a filmmaker or a photographer, I still encourage you to do your research, educate yourself, and save your money. And then whenever you're ready, buy the stuff that you need. This is not a one-size-fits-all kind of situation. Look, at the end of the day, the camera gear that you need is subjective. You buy what you need according to the style of shooting that you shoot. And that's all there is to it. You don't buy something just because another YouTuber uses it. You buy something because that's what you need. Now, you might find reviews from other YouTubers and say, oh man, I really like the way this camera works. Well, if that's the case, do everything you can to research that before you buy it. Because just like I said before, you don't want to waste money. Let's face it, gear acquisition syndrome is a real thing. Everybody goes through it. I've been through it. It is the impulse to buy something new just because it's new. So like I said, do your research, educate yourself, save your money, and buy the equipment that fits your needs. And don't worry about what other people are using. Unless it is the camera that you want to use too, because you've researched it and you figured out that it's the best camera for you, then don't worry what anyone else thinks. Don't worry about it. I'm going to use myself as an example, and I'm going to tell you the best way that I can. I started this YouTube channel a little over a year ago, and yes, it's not where I wanted to be, and that is 100% my fault. I too struggled with the question, does gear matter? I started off watching a channel called Think Media that talked a whole lot about the camera, the Canon M50. So that's the camera that I started this channel with. I bought that camera because they talked about how great it was for YouTube content, YouTube creation, and they were absolutely correct. It was fine for what I was doing with YouTube, but that's not the main reason why I bought a camera. I wanted to do this as a profession. I wanted to do freelance photography and filmmaking. Now, I did shoot some client work with that M50 for close friends and family, and I shot my first music video for my band with it. But I quickly realized that if I wanted to do this as a profession, I was going to have to buy a higher end camera to be able to pull in the clients that I really wanted to work with. 3 cameras later, I finally have a high end camera. I'm using the Lumix S5, and I love it. I love this camera. I know it doesn't have great autofocus, but that doesn't matter to me. This camera does everything that I need it to do, and it pleases the clients that I work with. And that's the most important thing. There's nothing else more important than that. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing this YouTube thing, and if it takes off and I make a career out of it too, fine. I'm absolutely happy about that. But I bought the gear that I needed. And it did take me a little while to get there because I listened to other people tell me what I needed to buy for so long. So don't do what I did. I bought 4 cameras before I finally got to the one that I knew that I needed. Research, educate, and save money. Don't impulse buy. Buy what you need and enjoy creating the content that you're going to create, whether it be for a business or your own YouTube channel. So yes, gear does matter. It does. It matters if you're wanting to use this for high-end clients like corporate businesses or to work with professional clients like musicians or models. It's going to 100% matter. But does gear matter if you're starting? No. The best gear that you use when you start is the gear that you have. The most important thing is that you just start. You research, you educate, and you save your money, and then you buy the gear that you want, so that way you don't waste money listening to other people tell you what you need to buy. I'm not going to tell you what you need to buy, because what I need is not what you need. Because if you do it the right way, it's going to feel more fulfilling, and it's going to make you a lot happier in the end. So I'm going to leave you with a question. My question for you is, what camera are you shooting your content with? Once again, my name is Phil Gibson. Don't forget to stay focused and capture everything. Take it easy.